Hold up. Did you really think this war was over? Because 50 Cent just did it again. And this time, even Game's own fans are whispering the words no rapper ever wants to hear. It's over for him. The internet is on fire right now. Hashtags are trending, old interviews are resurfacing, and every corner of hip-hop Twitter feels like a digital battlefield. You think after almost 2 decades, these two titans would have buried the hatchet. But nah, 50 just took that hatchet, sharpened it, and swung it right back. Rumors say a new disc clip leaked. Others claim it's a deliberate move to remind everyone who really built the G-Unit empire. But the question nobody's answering is this: why now? What made 50 reignite one of rap's coldest wars at this exact moment? Was it ego, strategy, or just pure revenge dressed up as marketing genius? One thing's for sure, this ain't a friendly jab. This feels personal. And if the whispers online are true, 50 didn't just roast Game. He may have ended whatever comeback Game thought he had left.
All right, folks, buckle up, because this isn't just another celebrity feud. This is the kind of explosive drama that makes fans spill coffee on their keyboards and tweet at 3 a.m. 50 Cent has allegedly gone in hard, again. And this time, Game might be looking at a career-sized crater. You heard it right. The so-called comeback of Game might just have been obliterated in one move. But let's rewind a bit and unpack how we got here, because the layers of this scandal run deep, and trust me, you won't believe what supposedly went down behind the scenes. First off, let's establish the main players. On one side, we have 50 Cent, the self-proclaimed king of comebacks, mogul of media, and master manipulator of headlines. The man has an uncanny ability to drop a single tweet or clip and watch the internet collectively lose its mind. On the other side, Game, a rapper who's been in the limelight for decades, known for his street credibility and past feuds, some legendary, some just messy, and some that never even made it past Instagram comment sections. Now, the combination of these two forces, it's like dropping a match in a room full of gasoline. Drama was inevitable. It's almost as if the universe was scripting this showdown. Now, let's talk about context. This isn't the first time these two have locked horns. Historically, their interactions have oscillated between subtle jabs, pointed lyrics, and full-blown lyrical warfare. And while the world might have assumed the saga cooled off after a few public spats and reconciliatory posts, the truth is it simmered quietly under the surface until now. Rumors of backstage tension, unreturned messages, and leaked private conversations suggest that the animosity never truly went away. In fact, some insiders claim that the latest move by 50 was years in the making, a carefully orchestrated strike aimed at not just Game, but at reminding the world who really controls the narrative. But what actually sparked this latest explosion? According to anonymous sources, and yes, these are the people who somehow have VIP access to every studio session, party, and private text chain, it all allegedly began during a high-profile industry event last month. Picture this. Cameras rolling, fans screaming, media outlets snapping photos, and somewhere in the middle of this chaos, 50 allegedly dropped a diss that was so sharp, so merciless, that it left the entire room in stunned silence. Eyewitnesses, again, totally anonymous but definitely dramatic, claimed the moment was cinematic, like something straight out of a Hollywood gangster flick. And of course, the internet reacted instantly. Within minutes, snippets were circulating on social media, clips were slowed down, memes were created, and TikTok creators uploaded rapid-fire reaction videos dissecting the alleged diss frame by frame. Some fans claimed this was the end of Game's credibility in the industry. Others argued that 50's move was petty, opportunistic, or just a strategic marketing play. Regardless of opinion, the sheer intensity of engagement is unparalleled, a testament to how much people live for this type of drama. But here's where things get even juicier. The so-called inside scoop isn't limited to the event itself. Anonymous sources have suggested that the feud has financial implications too. Allegedly, 50 Cent's maneuver wasn't just about reputation or ego. It might have been a strategic play to dominate streaming charts, boost social media engagement, and even manipulate public perception for upcoming business ventures. If true, this is a calculated, multi-layered attack blending entertainment, marketing, and social manipulation into a single act of genius or madness, depending on who you ask. let's not forget the historical baggage. The game has had his share of public missteps, controversial interviews, alleged beefs with other rappers, and some underwhelming releases. Meanwhile, 50 has mastered the art of public perception, leveraging timing, social media, and media connections to turn even minor jabs into full-blown spectacles. So when you combine Game's vulnerability with 50's strategic aggression, you end up with a situation that feels both inevitable and explosive. And just when you think it couldn't get more dramatic, insiders hinted backstage chaos. Allegedly, after the public diss, both camps retreated to separate corners of the industry elite's party, whispering, texting, and possibly plotting the next move. Security reportedly had to intervene, not because of physical threats, but because the tension was so thick it was reportedly making attendees uncomfortable. The scene, as described by unnamed sources, was tense, surreal, and almost electric. Social media only amplified the effect. Fans on Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram immediately began theorizing about subliminal messages in previous tracks, interpreting old lyrics as foreshadowing, and treating every emoji in posts as evidence of alignment or betrayal. Some even went as far as creating elaborate feud timelines, mapping out every historical interaction between the two rappers, complete with speculative motives and psychological analysis. The fan engagement alone has reportedly reached levels comparable to major political scandals, which, let's be honest, is wild but believable in today's hyper-viral culture. Meanwhile, influencers, YouTubers, and even late-night hosts jumped in to comment, further amplifying the story. Headlines screamed about an epic takedown and career-ending moves, while commentary videos dissected everything from 50's body language to Game's alleged responses. The narrative grew faster than any single statement could contain. And as usual, the more coverage there was, the more fans speculated about the fallout, potential diss tracks, private confrontations, or even orchestrated collaborations gone wrong. And finally, part of what makes this feud so compelling is the sense of unpredictability. Unlike scripted drama, this feels real, or at least real enough that fans can't stop discussing, debating, and theorizing. With every leaked clip, whispered rumor, and fan analysis, the tension builds, creating a snowball effect of speculation, content, and engagement. By the time this first phase settles, everyone is already anticipating the next move, the next leak, and the next headline that will inevitably blow up the internet once again. And this brings us to the turning point, the alleged consequences. According to insider chatter, this isn't just a personal jab. Allegedly, contracts could be impacted, public perception could shift, and entire marketing campaigns may be recalibrated based on this moment. Fans are allegedly betting on which rapper will win the war in the court of public opinion, a war that could influence streaming revenue, merchandise sales, and even brand partnerships. And with both artists still actively producing content, the next steps could unfold at any time, keeping the internet on high alert. At this point, the tension is palpable. The world is watching, fans are speculating, and the narrative is practically writing itself. And as wild as all this sounds, remember, in the world of celebrity feuds, truth is often stranger than fiction. Every rumor, every leak, and every alleged insider account adds to the chaos. And with 50 Cent allegedly at the center of this latest storm, the stakes have never been higher.
Now, as the dust settled from the initial shockwave, the public reaction only escalated. Social media was ablaze, and not just with casual commentary. We're talking full-scale digital chaos. Fans dissected every second of the alleged confrontation, turning every glance, gesture, and word into potential evidence. Reddit threads exploded with theories. Instagram stories dissected video snippets, and TikTok creators created countdowns, compilations, and reaction reels. Some even claimed to spot subliminal disses in Game's past lyrics, interpreting them as long-planned responses to 50 Cent's maneuvers. The line between fact and speculation, completely irrelevant. The engagement itself became the story. Leaked insider information, because of course every major feud has someone claiming VIP access, suggested that 50 Strike was premeditated with surgical precision. Sources allege he coordinated with his social media team, PR consultants, and even certain collaborators to maximize public shock. One anonymous insider claimed this wasn't just a jab, it was a full-scale cultural operation designed to dominate trending topics for weeks. According to these reports, every tweet, every subtle reference, and even the timing of posts were calculated to ensure maximum viral impact. And if you thought that was just clever marketing, wait, there's more. The alleged details of the event paint a picture straight out of a blockbuster movie. Attendees reportedly described the moment as surreal. It was like watching a chess grandmaster checkmate in real time, one insider said. You could feel game's energy shift in the room. People didn't know whether to laugh, gasp, or run for the exits. Some claim 50 Cent's delivery was so precise that it left a palpable tension in the air, an energy that fans could almost feel through screens, social media posts, and memes. Naturally, the internet responded instantly, and within hours the story had spread across platforms like wildfire. Of course, the fallout didn't stop at fan reactions. Allegedly, the incident sparked a wave of behind-the-scenes chaos within the music industry itself. Industry insiders reportedly held emergency meetings, analyzing the implications of 50's move on album sales, streaming numbers, and public perception. According to a supposed insider, some labels even considered revising contract terms or postponing releases, fearing the negative impact on Game's brand. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's team allegedly calculated potential spikes in engagement and revenue, turning the feud into a multi-million-dollar spectacle, all without releasing a single official statement. Meanwhile, the alleged impact on Game's personal and professional reputation was reportedly significant. Fans and sources claimed that Game appeared visibly shaken in subsequent public appearances, with some posts allegedly showing him retreating from media interviews, avoiding high-profile events, and privately strategizing with his team. One anonymous insider said he's been analyzing every lyric, every tweet, every move from 50. There's this mix of anger, disbelief, and what I can only describe as panic. Meanwhile, 50 Cent, according to the same sources, seemed unbothered, casually smirking and allowing the internet to do the heavy lifting. The speculation didn't stop there. Allegedly, this feud is starting to have financial ripple effects. Some reports suggested that streaming platforms saw massive spikes in both artists' catalogs. Fans supposedly created playlists specifically tracking the feud, driving streams higher than ever. Additionally, certain merchandise lines allegedly sold out almost immediately after the event, with 50 Cent versus Game-themed content going viral. The numbers, real or fabricated, reinforced the idea that the feud had become a self-perpetuating engine of attention and revenue. Insiders also claimed that other celebrities were getting involved, intentionally or otherwise. Tweets, cryptic Instagram posts, and social media likes were analyzed as proof of alignment or betrayal. According to alleged sources, a few artists even privately offered commentary to reporters, supposedly weighing in on who would come out on top. The result? An ecosystem of speculation, fan engagement, and viral content that amplified the initial incident beyond anything either artist could have anticipated. Another layer of intrigue reportedly comes from the potential for legal consequences. Anonymous insider industry hinters hinted that both parties' legal teams were actively monitoring the situation. While nothing official had been filed, these sources claimed that contracts, intellectual property rights, and potential defamation issues were being reviewed in case the feud escalated further. Allegedly, even subtle references in upcoming tracks could be scrutinized for legal implications, creating an additional layer of tension that fans couldn't ignore. Meanwhile, the internet's collective obsession continued to grow. Some fans reportedly claimed that 50 Cent's alleged move had broken Game's online persona, interpreting the reaction as a public humiliation on par with legendary celebrity feuds. Memes proliferated, TikTok recreations went viral, and YouTube reaction videos garnered millions of views in hours. Each new post from either artist became an event in itself, as fans debated its meaning, significance, and potential foreshadowing for future developments.
Even traditional media reportedly jumped into the fray.
Entertainment outlets allegedly ran stories analyzing the feud from every possible angle: social, financial, and cultural. Analysts, critics, and commentators supposedly dissected the historical relationship between the two rappers, detailing past conflicts, reconciliations, and patterns that could hint at future moves. According to one source, networks even considered producing special coverage segments dedicated entirely to the feud, though whether this ever came to fruition remains unconfirmed. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect, according to the sources, is the psychological warfare allegedly at play. 50 Cent reportedly employed a calculated mix of public and private tactics to unsettle Game. Anonymous insiders allegedly observed subtle manipulations, strategic leaks, indirect social media posts, and even public appearances designed to draw attention without direct confrontation. Meanwhile, Game allegedly responded by consulting with close collaborators, reviewing past content for vulnerabilities, and allegedly planning a possible counterstrike that could shift the narrative. Fans reportedly dived deep into the artists' histories, analyzing every lyric, video, and interview for hidden messages. Some claimed that Game had dropped cryptic lines in previous tracks, hinting at long-standing frustrations that were now being fulfilled in real time. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's camp allegedly celebrated the public spectacle, tracking virality metrics, social media sentiment, and fan engagement with meticulous attention. This cat-and-mouse game, whether real or fabricated, created a continuous feedback loop of drama, speculation, and content creation. Interestingly, sources also allege that certain industry stakeholders began to speculate on potential collaborations gone wrong. Hypothetical scenarios of joint projects that could backfire were discussed in social circles, while analysts allegedly considered the impact of this feud on broader trends in hip-hop. Brands, too, reportedly monitored the situation for marketing opportunities, possibly planning to capitalize on viral momentum without officially endorsing either side. According to insiders, the tension reportedly spilled over into private social circles as well. High-profile parties, studio sessions, and award events allegedly became arenas of speculation. Observers claimed that body language, choice of companions, and even seating arrangements were scrutinized for hidden meanings. Whether these details were accurate or exaggerated, the effect was undeniable. Every movement by either artist became potential news, fueling an ever-expanding narrative that blurred the lines between reality and entertainment. And then there's the alleged strategic escalation. Sources claim that both camps were preparing for the next phase. Potential diss tracks, media statements, and public appearances carefully timed to maximize impact. According to some insiders, this could involve new music releases, surprise appearances, or even live confrontations, hypothetical or real, designed to dominate headlines and further fuel fan engagement. The anticipation, whether genuine or manufactured, reportedly kept fans glued to their devices, watching every update with near religious fervor. Finally, as the story continued to unfold, one theme became increasingly clear. This wasn't just about ego or rivalry. Allegedly, the feud represented a broader struggle for influence, perception, and cultural dominance. 50 Cent's alleged moves were interpreted as a calculated assertion of relevance, power, and control over the narrative. Game, meanwhile, reportedly faced the challenge of defending his legacy while navigating a media landscape that thrives on spectacle and exaggeration. And the fans? Well, the fans became part of the story itself. With hashtags, memes, and viral content, they helped transform a private spat into a cultural event, amplifying drama in real time and creating a feedback loop of speculation and reaction. Allegedly, even minor details, a smile, a glance, or a comment, could be dissected as evidence, feeding the frenzy and keeping the feud in public consciousness. By the time this phase of the story supposedly concluded, it had evolved into more than a feud. It had become a phenomenon. Streams, social media engagement, and public commentary all reached unprecedented levels, transforming a personal clash into a cultural event. The tension, suspense, and speculation were far from over, and insiders allegedly indicated that the next phase, whether diss tracks, media statements, or surprise appearances, would push the saga to even greater heights. As the digital dust settled, or at least temporarily settled, The alleged aftermath of 50 Cent's move against Game continued to ripple across the music world. Sources claimed that the fallout wasn't limited to social media posts or memes. According to insiders, the entire hip-hop ecosystem seemed to be on edge. Streaming platforms, supposedly tracking audience engagement in real time, reported what some leaks described as unprecedented spikes across both artists' catalogs. Allegedly, fans weren't just streaming music, they were dissecting every track, lyric, and subtle inflection for evidence of ongoing subtext. One anonymous source reportedly said, "It's like watching a chess match, but every pawn is a viral post and every bishop is a meme." Meanwhile, according to sources who claim access to behind-the-scenes industry chatter, the alleged impact on Game was tangible. Public appearances reportedly became high-stakes events, with fans and media analyzing body language, wardrobe choices, and interview answers for hidden meanings. Some observers even suggested the Game had temporarily paused collaborations and postponed projects while strategizing a countermove. A supposed insider claimed he's studying 50 like a general, trying to anticipate the next move, but 50 steps are unpredictable. The pressure is immense. Whether true or fabricated, the narrative fueled endless fan debate and content creation. The so-called psychological warfare allegedly extended beyond public appearances. Insider reports claimed that both camps were engaging in subtle, indirect strategies, social media posts, cryptic stories, and carefully timed interviews designed to maintain tension. One alleged source explained, "Every post, every subtle nod, every seemingly innocent comment is a calculated strike in a much larger game. The audience thinks they're just watching drama unfold, but really, they're part of it." Fans reportedly analyzed each minor detail, turning online platforms into arenas of speculation, debate, and digital theatrics. According to another layer of alleged insider intel, the feud also spilled into financial considerations. Streaming numbers, merchandise sales, and event attendance were reportedly scrutinized by record labels and industry executives. Allegedly, some executives began recalculating marketing budgets, anticipating the viral momentum could either bolster or damage revenue streams, depending on which side appeared dominant. Even if some reports were exaggerated, the speculation alone amplified the perceived stakes, creating the sense that millions of dollars in reputations were on the line. Public reactions, too, reportedly escalated to dramatic heights. Fans took sides almost immediately, creating hashtag campaigns, memes, and viral challenges. Some claimed that Game supporters were combing through 50 Cent's social media for weaknesses, while 50's fans were doing the same with Game. According to insider chatter, comment sections became battlegrounds of allegiance, where every minor post was dissected as either a victory or a provocation. The internet, as one source allegedly said, became a live theater of conflict, simultaneously chaotic, hilarious, and addictive.